pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scheduled speakers, meeting minutes we're going to not do tonight. Any public input?
Yes.
Yes, a lot of it. Go ahead. Jan, go first.
Yes, just really quick. Ed had asked me to create a bulletin board on the side of the Little Free Library. So I talked with Nick Laganas, and he said it's really hard to retrofit, and if we had designed it originally, he would support it. But he instead suggested, which I thought was a great idea, of creating a community bulletin board, which I gave you a picture of. It would mirror and look exactly like this looks. It'd have a cork board and it could be protected, and it could be used for things other than what's on the municipal board. But of course, if there's an important municipal announcement, it could go over there as well. But things like the trunk or treat, or Frank Fraser's presentation he's doing next week on winter gardens, those kinds of things that could go up there. He's willing to do it for us. I can't guarantee what that time frame is, but if that looks okay to you, the only difference in it is that will be about 4 inches wide versus 14 on the Little Free Library, so totally up to you guys.
I think we need something like that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and it's good to put right next to the same one, so it's kind of like...
It looks the same, and if you look at it from the road, you really don't see two different things. I think it'll be just
from the face.
Yeah.
I get the bookmarks have depth though, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a good idea. No, I think it's a good spot for it, and
Yeah.
that way when we dig them out in the winter, it's all going to be right there.
Oh, right there, yeah, and we could do things like the barbecue.
And more of the community type stuff versus
Community stuff.
official, but we need to tag it as official, we can always use it.
Yes, okay,
Good,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm all for it.
Thank you.
great, thanks.
We don't need a motion on it.
I don't. Do you need any money for that?
He has been so kind to donate his time and materials, so not this month.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
No, then we don't need a motion. We're not spending any money. Anybody? Chris, yes.
Chris Kendall, West Mountain Road. I would like to I have a little comment about the newsletter, I guess. I'm happy that somebody's taken on the project of the newsletter, but in the future I'd like to see editorials or opinion or political views kept out of it moving forward. I don't know if that's something that you can do like an editorial process, but facts about the town and upcoming events, but no opinions.
Okay, we will talk offline because it didn't jump out at me what you saw. So you saw something weird.
Yeah, well, specifically about the logging. If you read it, it says, hey, there's a lot of logging going on, so keep your kids safe because the animals are going to be displaced and in your yards and stuff. And that's
Why
just,
did it's
it's just not true.
Okay.
So
Got it.
rather than it becoming more of a opinion piece in the coming newsletters, I'd like to see it stay town facts.
Gotcha.
Got it. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, boards and committees. Better be short. Road agent.
Couple things. Still working on Pleasant Valley Road and hope to get it turned over to be paved by October. Just running into a few more problems there than I thought. The second thing is I met with a guy today about chip sealing some of this pavement, and basically there's a rubberized compound that's put down, and rock chips are put on top of it, and it can extend the service of the road, 7 or 8 years without having to actually pave it, and significantly less expensive.
And where are you thinking about?
Any place where the pavement is still in good shape. So I might have mentioned before that when these roads were reclaimed and the base asphalt was put down, typically in the next year or two, it needs to be overlaid to be sealed up because the base material is coarse. It'll take in the water and you get a lot of cracking, and the freeze-thaw cycle is tough on it. So this sealing would take care of that. It would take care of some of the roads that have started to crack already. It would not pertain to roads that have been damaged heavily, that like what we fixed this year. It wouldn't be something that we do on those for another few years, but it appears to be a pretty good solution for to extend the life of these roads without actually paving them.
This year?
Not this year. It would have to be next year.
Okay.
And maybe when I get those numbers and some more information on it, we can talk about how to pay for that. But
Yeah, so we're budgeting starting soon, so that'll be perfect.
yeah. Yeah, and I was just asking Joanne too about the idea of encumbering if we wanted to, look at doing a contract this year for next year and encumbering that money, or if we want to do something different as far as the budget goes. So, something to think about in the future.
I think it is a signed contract, it can be encumbered,
It can be
but I think,
encumbered,
I do want to run it by the auditors, but
We have money left, that's the question.
that's, well, we
Right.
do.
Well, yeah, I think that's going to be the case
You have a
when something
ballpark
drastic
figure,
happens.
what that would cost, a ballpark? Is it-
It's about $37,000 a mile. So if you think about that in terms of paving, it's a lot less. And he told me, they average around 7 or 8 years if they put down on decent pavement. So I think it's worth trying. I've seen it in a lot of the other towns around, and it looks good, and it seals out the water. That's the most important thing.
Okay. All right, well, to think about that, what the impact might be on the tax rate. Along the road agent topic is a proposed rate change is the contract gets changed, or the rate sheet can get changed once a year, and at that time, and this is the proposed new rates for the equipment. And you'll see the old rate and the new rate.
Happy to answer any questions too.
Is it mainly fuel driven, the rate's going up, or?
Two things. Some of the rates were, they're a little bit all over the place originally, so a couple of the things are to get them more in line. And I want to say on the low side, I would say we have at least 7% inflation over the past year or two. And I would say it's probably a little higher than that. So between fuel and just the inflation of everything, the cost of the equipment goes up almost weekly. And some of those are rental rates that are on there, things that we would rent for a day or a week. And just going through the local places where we can rent the stuff, I use those figures for what they're renting those things for right now, and compare them to what the contract rate was currently. Now, and you'll see too, it's either by the hour, by the day, or by the month or week, or however it's broken down. So.
Want to just digest these and then look at time next meeting? Or do you want to approve now?
When would these be effective then?
October 1st.
Point of information, what's the percentage of it going up? What's the difference between last and now?
Percentages in here.
It's kind of all over the place. Like I said, some of the rates some of them were low. Like for instance, the labor rate was $30. You couldn't hire anybody to do anything for that and pay payroll taxes and workers' comp on somebody. You'd be paying a minimum wage at best. So it's not, you couldn't legitimately hire somebody for that rate. So that needed to be adjusted drastically. To be within line with, where you could hire somebody legally.
I guess my question would be is, what was the contract now and what will it be when it's raised?
Well, these are hourly rates. These are hourly rates, so based upon how much the equipment's used.
But it's not like the contract was for like $100,000 per year. The contract pays hourly rates, and then we budget winter and summer maintenance, and those are the two line items ultimately pay for these hourly rates.
For example, library roller, you don't have one of those.
No.
And so that's a rental rate, and it went from $465 a day to $550. It's on the sheet, but it's out of the control of the road agent. And I think there's a couple of other items, I don't know what you have for equipment, but I see screener.
Yeah, that would be a rental thing, and it would be, there's not necessarily need for it, but it was on that rate sheet, so I just figured, just to continue it, we'll have a number in there in case it's something that comes up. I would say it's generally around 10%, but some of the rates were low, and I adjusted those kind of to where they should have been a little bit, and then went 10%.
Thank you. I just wasn't clear of that these were the rates charged by the people that you rent the equipment from.
Some of it.
Some of it.
Some is owned by his construction company.
Correct. And his should be in line with what the going rate is.
Absolutely.
I agree.
There's actually 4 line items. There's materials for winter and summer, and then there's road agent charges for winter and summer too. So
Yes, because your costs go up. You have extra fuel costs and
yeah,
insurance has gone up. You got other stuff.
yeah, and like I said, I think if you watch the news, I think they'll tell you it's around 7% inflation, but I think it's a little more than that.
I don't have a problem with rates as
proposed.
adjusted here.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept this rate sheet for the next year.
All right, effective October 1st.
October 1st.
Sounds good. Our second.
Second?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Tough, that's right, it's tough, just 2 of us. You don't need the rate sheet, do you?
Well,
You got a
I'll
copy.
put it
You
in
have a
his,
copy.
I'll put it
You
in
have a
Chris's
copy.
file, yeah.
No public hearing is needed for that, correct?
It's not a new contract, it's written into the contract that we will address rates yearly.
Karen wanted to have a few minutes. Yes.
Looking at the minutes from last meeting, we said the conservation meeting tomorrow night wanted to have Ed and Nate Whitworth there, but I don't know if anybody ever told them. I was just...
Yeah, we're not talking about the meeting minutes tonight. Hey, Karen, I think you wanted floor time.
I apologize.
It's all right, you're busy. I understand, but you're going to miss out. So
Oh,
we
thank
told
you.
you.
I do have another police officer if you guys could approve them. I didn't get that on your desk soon enough.
All right.
I just wanted to mention a few things from the town clerk's office. There is a new surcharge on electric vehicles, electrics and plug-in hybrids. It's $100 per year. It'll be prorated at registration, or if they get rid of the vehicle, it will be prorated. But it's for battery electric vehicles is $100, and the plug-in hybrid surcharge is $50 annually. Starting September 1st. So it's in place now, and our software has all been updated so that it will begin doing the charge if we have any electric vehicles. We're
I guess
also...
what I would edification. So the state is now slapping that fee on to people who register electric hybrid vehicles that plug in? That's a
Yes.
state money to what you...
It's a surcharge to make up for the difference in the gas tax that they don't pay, is how the state sees it.
Okay.
So that was why they implemented it, was to make up for the loss in the gas tax.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
for asking. Also, I've sent out letters and I'm making phone calls to all of the people who have dogs that have either never been registered or have not been renewed over the last 2 years. That the dog licenses must be issued by September 18th, or they have to at least call me, or we will begin the civil forfeiture process. So there's about 30 dog owners that covers. Pretty much the phone calls are helpful. People are coming in if they get a personal call. So I'll keep working on that.
It's not expensive to register a dog?
If you're a senior citizen, your first dog is only $2, and then Any dogs that are altered are $6.50, and dogs that are not altered are $9 each. So it's not overly expensive, but it's a matter of remembering they're due April 30th of every year, which is kind of an unusual time. But I do have a process in place to do postcards next year, so a cheap way of sending out reminders that might work more effectively. So we're just catching up for a lot of the dogs for several years. I gave you the officer. I just want to give an update. We haven't heard back on the merchant ID to do the credit cards online, but it is in process through our vendor. I would anticipate within the next few weeks, we should be able to offer the credit cards online through the electronic registration. We will not be doing counter credit cards, but the one check service seems to be pretty well received by customers. So we have made one step to make things easier. We did just do some updates to the software to enable us to do the more automated reporting to the treasurer. So we're hoping to have that where it won't be such a manual process as it is now. Things will be electronic without copying things over. And other than today, when we had a bit of a backup, I think the new system is working more efficiently. The deposits to Profile Bank, it's a little bit more time consuming for the treasurer because she has to make a daily transmission to the state. But overall, the software, it's just learning the navigation, but the processes are a little bit easier to get things done. So that's just an update on that. And I think that was, the town clerk's office has to be closed on Monday next week, but the town clerk will be in the office on Tuesday from 9 to 5. A blast will be going out.
Say it again, please.
On Monday, September 11th, the town clerk's office will be closed, but we will be open Tuesday instead from 9 to 5, and the regular hours Wednesday. And I think that was it. Did you have any questions for me? Okay, thank you for putting me on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. And we have one more police officer that we have to acknowledge.
Please,
Okay. We will get to that tonight.
thank you.
We have some paperwork for us. We've got an abatement request. There's a piece of property that's on the New Durham Brookfield town line. And there's been quite a bit of discussion about whether that house is in New Durham or in Brookfield. And the last map we had indicated that the town line went right through the house. So, a lot of history there. So we were taxing that half a house. Subsequent to that, Mr. Skinner has had it surveyed. And the surveyor attests that the house, not all the property, but the house is in New Durham. So we are going to abate the tax bill we sent this January.
It'd be a wild guess, yeah, they're tax rates lower than ours.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
why
so.
would they do that? Okay, if Rod says it's cool, then when the survey's there.
We got the survey.
Yeah, that's fine with me, no problem.
Some of the land is still in Brookfield, but that's not our issue. That belongs to the Lakes Region Conservation, so that's a civil matter. We get our taxes. If they want to share their property with someone else, so be it. So,
I just thought they were trying to.
no, they're not. So, I'll make a motion that we grant this abatement for the Skinner property in the amount of $1,760. The Skinner property.
Does that mean we refund?
No, they never paid.
Oh,
We're cleaning up the books.
okay, great.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that motion passed. We have a current use change warrant tax map 17, lot 28. The tax due is $500. It's part of the lot that came out. So I'll make a motion that we issue this tax warrant to the treasurer, to the tax collector for the amount of $500.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. We have some veterans. Make sure it's veterans, could be a number of things. Veterans. Okay, so we have two requests for veterans tax credit. One through the assessing office. They've been approved with all the supporting documentation by the assessor, Rod Wood. So I'll make a motion that we accept these property tax credit exemptions.
Rod's approved, yes?
Yep.
A second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay, we have to sign those. We have to sign these. We can do that in a moment. We have some, just I think it's interesting. This is from the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. They're logging up on the state property, and they sold to the logger 133,454 feet of saw logs, 1,227 tons of hardwood for chips. And I was told that that operation is getting underway right now, and that this is just an FYI. The timber monitor is working with DRA to make sure we follow the correct process for government land. It's just, I think, interesting. I think that's all I have. We have an open item that we still don't have anything for snow plowing for this facility. I think Hassan is working on it, but I don't know the status of that.
And no oil rates yet,
Still,
as of Friday.
and it keeps going up. The rate keeps going up. The oil's going up. All right, we have some, you have anything, Ryan?
Well, with the ZBA held its hearing Thursday. That decision will be posted in 30 days. You know, Heritage is doing a barbecue Saturday 4 to 6. And
The painting has been postponed
meeting was postponed until, I'm thinking,
sometime later this year.
October, probably November.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't know when the election's going to be this year. We don't know yet. We won't know for a while.
What about, because I think she has booked, didn't she have some events, people using?
Don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, the painting was pretty new that we found out. And
Okay.
Hold on.
it's kind of,
I think there was a birthday party in October for Virginia. It's on the calendar.
all right.
Any bills?
Yes, I have a couple of things too. Do you want to approve the policy for the newsletter guidelines?
Did you read it?
Yeah,
I read it.
I have no problem.
It's pretty basic.
It says we're not going to let political opinions get in there.
That's right.
That's what the policy says.
And then,
We get comment that we did it, bias.
right,
So I'm okay with what it says. It says we shouldn't do that.
okay, so add that to your policy sign then.
And then we'll post this on the,
Yeah, it'll be on the Cassandra posted. Also wanted to let you know that my last certification class is next Tuesday in Manchester. Also waiting on DRA, the only thing is the, Rod hasn't filed the MS1 yet, so I imagine they'll call after they get that. And I've sent requests for the budgets to all the committees and departments, so I I haven't received anything back yet, but hopefully when they meet, like, that's why I was wondering if the conservation meeting tomorrow night.
There is conservation tomorrow, yeah.
Do you think I should attend some of these and?
No, like the conservation, Frank is pretty vigilant about things. Certain members are more vigilant than others.
Okay,
You know, but and I know we're trying to press things earlier, so
okay.
it's, you know, I think we're early, but we can maybe start the budgeting process next month.
Yeah, I would
I'd
like
say
to.
by like the second meeting, we can probably start.
What did you ask for a date for the?
I said it had to be, I'd like it in by the end of September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we figure that first meeting is probably not ideal, and then maybe the second meeting, we can maybe
Mhm.
at least start doing at least the revenue side of things.
Okay, okay, good. Brian, do you want to check out the manifest?
Sure.
Can you give that to Brian? You should be able to
Yeah.
follow that, right?
All that's involved.
There's like 3 because I thought I was finished and I got some more. Anyway, first one would be Kinville Construction for $5,375. Carroll County Registry of Deeds for $30. Consolidated Communications for $119.14. Eastern Materials for 3 yards of pipe sand, $840. Karen Sabasic for postage, $32.56. State of New Hampshire Department of Vital Records, $13. Rose Zacher for mileage to Jackson for her and Diana to attend the conference.
Carroll County.
Yeah. Staples for paper, $47.27. And then we go to CAI Technologies for $237.50.
What's that?
Quarterly. Craig Evans, that's for the hard drives for the town server that he purchased, $289.95. Dame Electric, $283 for wiring the vent. Eversource, $24.87, and $200.26. The September payment to Governor Wentworth, $44,822. Kinville Construction, $3,000.
Can we back, I may have lost it. The last one I had was Eversource for $226.
Yep, do you have Governor Wentworth? GW 44.
Oh, so the propane, did you skip that one? For $24.87, and check totals $25.13.
What was the, who was it?
I think it was
Propane electric.
two Eversource bills there.
Oh, so it was Eversource 226,
Yeah,
and then the next one was 225.13. Oh no, it was 24.87
yeah, yeah.
for the total of 225.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was,
No, it's okay.
and then I got Governor Wentworth.
Okay. And then Kinville at 2, 3,183 and 3,632. Okay. Long Meadow for $6.89, a new plunger. Tim Strauss for mailing, certified mailings for the subdivision application, $86.52. Tim Strauss for $300 for his quarterly planning board chairman. NEDCC, which is the Northeast Document Conservation Center, for the last record book number 7. This is the last payment, and it's less than what was planned, $2,496. Spectrum, $94.98. Teletechniques for work on the telephones, $187.50. And the Town of Wakefield Food Pantry, $2,000 for the donation for 2023. And that is all I have.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we pay the bills as read.
That's it.
All in favor? Aye. I'm gonna go slow here, we're going slow here. I think we've got everything, this folder's empty. This has been talked about, we have to sign. We have to sign.
Pleasures.
Any other input? Okay, we're going to sign some bills and then adjourn, but you're welcome to stay with the signing party.
I want to see the map of Mutton, what that, this thing.
Just two.
Yeah, what is it?
Jim, I wanted your email address.
You think there's a map a lot? It's not a person?
Is there an address?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then I have an address to the spot on my website.
76 Moose Mountain
Oh,
Road.
great, let's see what that says. Thank you.
And 7 Garney Road.
You were having so busy.
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you go. And you go.
All right. Let's get this under control.
Excuse me. Sorry, yeah, I was in the back. Yeah. I'll have to be the third one.
Okay, gotcha.
You only have 2 on this.
Oh, yeah.
I think 1 on that. If you see another one, let me know.
I think it's 2 on this.
what's the purpose for signing if we have a new police officer?
We authorize them to patrol in this town,
That individual,
that individual.
that's for, I guess, liability?
Not more than liability, it's, I don't know what the right word is.
We're granting the policing power or authority over our municipality.
Just wondering.
On the show, right?
Yep, someone could challenge that the person isn't authorized to enforce the law in this town.
Understood.
Go to court. Last person, huh? All right, we're coming along.
In fact, the Ossipee police officer was in today and said that he had stopped a speeder out here going very fast, and I said, did you give him a ticket? He said, I can't because I'm from Ossipee, but Wakefield will issue a warrant.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
But I thought he was authorized to be a police officer already.
But he's Ossipee now.
I thought he moved to Brookfield. You're talking about Gustavo?
No, Oswald,
Okay, I thought it was.
He's an Ossipee now?
sergeant.
Okay.
I guess the sheriff has a broad authority to write tickets in all the towns, I would assume.
So I'm in Liberty County.
County, yeah.
Wow.
I think the lawyer's still out this weekend. She was gone the weekend.
That's what I thought.
Labor Day, and, yeah,
Which is taking several, at least I thought 3 weeks, right?
5.
5, I knew it was a lot.
In one.
I was envious around that.
We'll get a report on this. What part after she got it? I have no idea where she went.
So we got a fan in it.
Yeah. Here? Barely.
Wow.
If you vented the heat into here in the wintertime, it would heat this room, it would heat the room for the wintertime. A lot of heat coming off of that.
Off those things, yeah.
Air conditioner. Keep it cool. Not here, just the room.
One of the offices.
Yeah, I started contemplating taking the ACs out of my windows last week,
You did?
and I'm glad I didn't.
I almost had the heat on last week.
Well, these Hayden was home, I don't know, get him to,
Yeah.
I'm carrying him for me. Yep. I was like, no, hang on. I think Nick will be home, I'll see him on.
More?
Well, those are just for you, you know.
You saw these, Brian?
Yeah.
I can sign these later. Yep. Anything else? Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
6:40. 6:40.